Hey there, Jets Nation. Welcome back to One Jets Pod. Whether you're tuning into our video content or joining us on our audio-only platforms, we've got you covered. If you're enjoying what you hear or see, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't just gently tap, but smash that bell icon to stay notified whenever we drop new content. Also, we love comments and 5-star ratings. Thanks again, Jets fans. Now together, let's fuel the green and white passion. Let's go, Jets.
Welcome to Jet Life Stadium.
Hit it!
Hey, what's going on, Jet Nation? This is Randy with the One Jets Pod, and I'm joined with my co-host, JD. John, what's going on, brother? How are you?
What's going on, Randy? Let's go, Jets. Kind of excited after this recent draft and excited to talk about it.
Absolutely, man. Hell of a weekend. I know there's a lot of disappointed Jet fans out there today. A nice little certain community, if I may say.
The Bauer Bros.
Oh, man. They are hating life. They are hating Joe Douglas. They're hating everybody that was anti-Bauer right now. So that kind of warms the cockles. I mean, I did not want to tie it in the first round. I mean, I don't know how you felt about Bowers, dude, but for me, I can't go tight end in the first round, especially that early, and especially when we have a need for offensive line.
Me personally, I agree with you completely. I thought we needed to build that wall for Aaron. We can't rely on Tyron Smith holding the left side down. 14 games last year, 6 games the year before, if I'm not mistaken. So I get why the hype for Bowers. Supposedly Travis Kelce-esque, all the tight ends. Rob Gronkowski is talking about him, meeting with him. So I get the hype, but I'm glad it was a smokescreen.
Absolutely. So I got to ask you, bro, of the entire first round, or you could even say the entire draft if you want, what surprised you the most?
I think just the fact that Joe Alt didn't fall to us. I was so excited. I was positive we were getting Joe Alt. I knew it. I said it to myself. We were getting him.
Yeah, for me, I'll tell you right now, I felt like Joe Alt was going to be a pipe dream. I mean, I thought it might have been, it might have gotten close, maybe. But man, I'll tell you right now, and again, I apologize if you hear the puppy yelping in the back. He's kind of in timeout right now, and he thinks he's a victim when he goes to potty in the house and has to go in his crate. He's the weirdest dumb dog I've ever met in my life. But anyways, no, I feel like with the Chargers there, honestly, I didn't see the Chargers passing on Joe Alt. And if he got past them, I didn't see Tennessee. There was no way Tennessee was going to pass up on Joe Alt if he was there. And that's just my opinion. But I'll tell you the one that shocked me the most was Atlanta taking a quarterback in the first round. After giving all that money to Kirk Cousins, I'm thinking like, you could have went out and got him a receiver. You might have made able to get him Brock Bowers.
Why not draft Rome? I mean, that would have been the perfect pick right there. Yeah, they didn't want us to jump up to get him, so why didn't they take him?
You keep him out of a fellow NFC competitor's hand. Like, I don't know what Atlanta was thinking, dude. Like, I mean, you saw the clip, right, where Arthur Blank is literally having to be mansplained the fucking draft pick from his GM. I mean, it's like, I forget who said it. I think it was like a body language expert or something. But they're like, anytime you're sitting there doing that with your hands and you got to explain this, like, you fucked up.
I still can't. And they soured the relationship with Kirk Cousins. So he's going to want out of there. He's not going to want to stay and mentor anyone. Kirk Cousins is not that kind of guy. I don't care what anyone says. He can be high and mighty and pious all he wants. The guy is not a decent human being. The way he's fleeced all the organizations, the way he fleeced us, used us as leverage for Minnesota. I can't stand the guy. I mean, I can't. He's a garbage time quarterback. He's always going to be a garbage time quarterback. And that's it. You know what I mean?
JD dropping the heat here on the one, nope. JP.
Sorry.
I feel like
actually, I'm not sorry.
Look at Kirk Cousins the way I look at Justin Herbert.
Yep.
Not impressed. and I don't
No.
really care for him. I mean,
No,
we'll
I'm
see
not
what
a
Jim
big fan of
Harbaugh
Justin
can do
Herbert
with
either.
him, but I mean,
Garbage time quarterback.
garbage time quarterback, man. So,
I mean,
but yeah, that kind of shocked me, man. Freaking Atlanta, dude. It's like, could you imagine if the Jets did some bullshit like that? We'd have got roasted. They probably wouldn't allow
immediately.
it. They probably wouldn't. They'd be like, "No, you don't get to do your third. You're done with the draft." Shit.
But they were pundits telling us to take a quarterback anyway.
Yeah,
You know
in
what
the
I mean?
first round too.
Yep. So, and if we would have done it, would have gotten slammed. We would have
I
got
think
slammed if we drafted Bowers too. Everyone would have been like,
for
"Oh,
sure.
you're not protecting Rodgers. What are you doing?"
For sure. I mean, I saw a lot of people on X or whatever saying, "Oh, take a quarterback in the first round." You know, JJ McCarthy, or I saw a lot of Bo Nix. I'm like, "Oh, Michael Penix Jr." I'm like, Michael Penix Jr. That's a day 2 kind of guy. Taking that motherfucker in the first round. Are you kidding me? If I'm taking Michael Penix Jr. in the first round, I'm trading back to with like the fucking Chiefs, getting a haul, and then taking the dude. If that's the plan. But I'm not taking that motherfucker and giving him top 10, top 15, even top 20 money, dude.
I'm surprised. So totally surprised by that. I was surprised by the Bills trading down with the Chiefs. Like the team that's been proverbially kicking your ass every playoffs, you're gonna trade with and give them a chance to get better. I mean, and that makes no sense.
Buffalo gonna Buffalo, I guess, huh?
I mean, I guess
Dude.
didn't they need a first round receiver? Weren't they desperate? I would have traded up if I were them.
Dude, they
You
just
lose
got rid of their stud receiver.
two
Literally
of them.
traded him away.
Diggs, and who was the other guy? For some reason, I'm blanking right now.
Oh yeah, shit.
They were bashing him in the playoffs because he wouldn't play.
Oh,
Gabe Davis?
Gabe Davis, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bashing him. I mean, Buffalo fans, I have some friends who are Buffalo fans, and Buffalo, another New York team, so I give them some flowers every now and then. But they're like Packer fans, man. They're like Viking fans. They're like these Midwest team fans that are just foaming at the mouth for relevancy sometimes. You know what I mean? Forgetting how Trent Edwards and all the crap that they've had to deal with. They were the longest drought before they Cincinnati helped them play into the playoffs.
Still
forget where they came from.
Still hanging on to those back to back AFC Championship wins.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk
4-time
about
losers in the Super Bowl.
back Super Bowl losses, But they'll talk about them AFC Championship games all day long. Oh yeah, what were you doing in the 90s? Well, okay, but no, yeah, it was an interesting draft to say the least. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the Jets draft pick here on the One Jets Pod draft recap show, and I'm here with my co-host, the One Jets Pod very own JD, aka John, or as you know him on X at J6Jets. So, JD, with the 11th overall pick, the New York Jets selected Olu Fashanu, is what I'm told is how you say his name.
Fashanu, not Fashanu.
That's what I'm being told, but you know what? I don't give a crap what it is.
I like Fashanu better, actually.
Because I think we're going to call him Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. Wait, what?
Wow, that is knock on wood with that statement. I can't believe you just dropped that.
So I got a little write-up here that I want to read. Fashanu was a 4-year player and a 2-year starter at left tackle. After an injury-shortened 2022 season, which he was named second team All-Big 10 Conference, the focus-driven Fashanu was all together last season with 12 starts, and at the end of the year was selected by the Associated Press as first-team All-American and named Big Ten Offensive Lineman of the Year. He was also a finalist for the William V. Campbell Trophy, a.k.a. the Academic Heisman. Wow. So he's a real intelligent son of a bitch.
That's rare, too, to be.
When he started to make his NFL team visits, he just had a feeling that he and the Jets might be destined for each other. I love hearing that. They definitely showed interest, Fashanu told him, told the team's media Thursday night. I think they did a good job of discussing it. I didn't seem to be any more It didn't seem to be any more than any other team that showed interest. But after that visit, after the combine, for me, the Jets were the team. I love hearing that shit, man. I mean, obviously had a great visit. Impressed everybody.
The Jets wanted to be here. That's a big deal right there.
Yeah. And I think, honestly, the minute the Jets talked to him, got him in the building, I think they instantly fell in love with him, and I think they knew that's where they were going, and I think they knew they could get him right there at around 10 or 11. I think they had aspirations of trading back, at least a spot or two, and still being able to pick him up while acquiring a few other picks. They knew some teams were going to be looking at quarterbacks there in the top 10, top 15. So I'm sure Joe Douglas went around calling some folks, like he did with Minnesota, and said, "Hey." And he could have been lying for all he knows, but he said, "I got a couple of teams willing to jump you to go get a quarterback right now. So if you want your guy, get in the top 10 and make your fucking pick."
I mean, Sean Payton even said it in the press conference after the first round. He said, he was integral and faking that out. So honestly, feel like he did us a solid after throwing us under the bus during, last off season, and
he kind of
did get
fucking
JFM out of it.
He kind of fucking owed us, especially after we whooped his ass in his own home stadium. He finally like, "All right, Daddy, I owe you."
Yep.
So in the second round, oh wait, that's right, we didn't have a second round pick this year. Thanks, Aaron Rodgers.
But let me just say one thing I got to say about Olu before we move on.
Okay.
Is what do you think about the hands? Do you think the hands are really a thing? Everyone's complaining about 8.5-inch hands.
I'm going to be real with you right now.
As long as you get it into the belly, I can't see how his hands are going to be all that much of a problem.
And is technique no longer a thing either? Like, did that just go out the fucking window or something? As far as I'm concerned, and this is just me, I could be a dumbass. I don't follow the combine. It's not my thing. I don't really give a shit. All I care is about the tape that you watch, from their college days. I really don't even care about pro day tapes or anything like that. So when I was reading and hearing about small hands, first time in my football life I heard about small hands being a knock on a guy. I'm like, all right, whatever you say. But
I thought that was quarterback exclusive.
When I watch his tape, I see a lot of really good technique and a lot of good footwork. Maybe not the best in the run game, but he's on the side where you got to protect a man in the passing game.
Yeah, he's a pure pass protector in my opinion.
Absolutely,
so, yeah.
And he's gonna.
He's not gonna maul anybody, but that's why you have
And you know what? He's got a whole fucking year. To learn how to be a better run blocker from Tyron Smith. Absolutely, dude. Everything's coachable. It's not like he's going to come in and just, he sucks at the fucking run game. Oh, well, we're just going to have to fucking take the good with the bad. No, he can get better. It's called coaching. So, yeah, so the small hands, I mean, I really don't give a shit. It's like you said, if you can get him in the belly and you can do what you've done all your life, then I don't really give a shit. Because also, alignment, most alignment is technique and footwork.
Technique, footwork, and speed.
Yeah.
Speed off the line. Speed, when you're trailing backs with that slide step. I mean,
just because you have small hands don't mean you ain't strong, brother.
You got to get that hand. Just got to get that hand in the center of the gut. Otherwise, they're going to throw past you with that swim move or throw you on the ground. So, yeah, it's all about technique from the line. If he's big and fat and heavy, he should be fine with right technique. And like you said, I mean,
he gets to learn a whole year without having to be rushed into things.
For
the first fucking time in a long time, as long as I can remember, the Jets have a rookie that's not going to be pressured to do anything.
And how long has it been since we ever could say that? Since we didn't have to rush a rookie right into the starting lineup?
At least almost 30 fucking years here, as far as I'm concerned. Every time we make a first-round pick, it's a pick of fucking major need, and they got to come in right away.
First year ever, we could have picked whoever we wanted. I actually thought we would trade up for Rome, but once Rome was taken, I figured, you know what? I remember like biting my nails. I thought we were going Bowers, and when we went Olu, I thought we would go Fuaga, but I'm happy with Olu very much.
Yeah, I mean, if I was picking, I probably would have went Fuaga, but again, I'm happy with Olu. Although, like you said, man, as the pick started getting closer, Man, I was sweating it out like shit. We're gonna end up with Bowers, aren't we? So glad he went to the Raiders. Now everybody can see firsthand he's not as good as everybody says he is.
And honestly, that's going to be a great test. Aiden O'Connell's not the best
I'm not.
quarterback out there.
I'm not saying that to be mean. I hope the kid has a fucking phenomenal career, dude.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he's going to be as good as everybody thinks he is. Especially without a fucking quarterback. Sorry.
I mean, tight end's a young quarterback's best friend. We'll see if Aiden O'Connell's even a decent enough quarterback to handle to throw to a tight end. I mean, he flashed, but he didn't. I mean, Zach Wilson's flashed more than he did, in my personal opinion. So
I'll give you that. Yeah, absolutely. So as we move on to our next pick, our next pick didn't come out until the 3rd round. We actually traded from 72, I believe it was with Detroit, and we traded up to pick 65 to take wide receiver Malachi Corley. This kid's he's a beast, dude. He is a beast of a wide receiver.
I saw that Connor Hughes little clip that he threw up there that he was sent, and just flat out a flag thrown at a Senior Bowl practice. Are you kidding me?
Don't fuck with Malachi.
I mean, it wasn't like it was a crap right defensive back. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure I forget who it was that he smacked in the face, but just ran him over. If he can do that against like some of the undersized guys, you know what I mean? You know, some of the guys we gave up that are like balling with other teams, like Arthur Mollett. He's like one of the better cornerbacks in the league now for the Ravens. But you know, even DJ, I can't see DJ covering this guy in practice. You know what I mean? Sauce is gonna have to travel with him in practice, and who's gonna cover Garrett? I'm gonna put it out there right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if he knocked Sauce on his ass.
I'm just gonna put it out there right now. If I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but if the offense is doing better than the defense in training camp, relax. It's just because how are you covering Garrett Wilson and a physical receiver like that, plus Mike Williams? I have a feeling we're gonna get Corey back too. I think Corey Davis is gonna come back. No one wants him, and he wants to come back to the NFL. Whether he wants to play or not, he needs the money. So, you know what I mean?
I mean, I wouldn't mind him, bringing him in wide receiver 4 or whatever, wide receiver 5, whatever. Be a big red zone target, that's for sure. I mean, you can never go wrong with having a big body down there in the red zone, you know, especially within the, you know, the 10s and all that. So I'm cool with fucking him coming back. So let's read a little bit up on Corley here. Let me go ahead and enlarge this real fast. All right. Corley saw increasing action in his 4 seasons with the Hilltoppers. The 5'11", 250-pound senior moved all around the offense and set the school record with 259 career receptions for 2,943 yards and 29 touchdowns. He was a starter his last 3 seasons and was named first-team All-Conference USA in his final 2 seasons. He wasn't able to participate at the Combine due to injury, but a month later at his pro day, Corley wowed 31 of 32 NFL teams who sent representatives to observe him. He ran his 40s in the 4.45 to 4.47 second range, and also put up a strong 4.26 second 3-cone drill. Who's the fucking team that didn't send somebody to his pro day? I mean, literally everybody was there. I wonder who didn't go.
Patriots. They don't like receiver.
Corley's game day resume includes big yards after catch, which is why they call him the Yak King. There it is, as a Hilltopper, and a mentality that's not shy about taking or delivering hits. Oh, this kid, send this motherfucker up the middle. He don't give a shit. NFL analyst Lance Zierlein, I wonder if he's related to our kicker, chose San Francisco's Deebo Samuel as his NFL comparison for Corley. Wow. And Corley was pleased to hear Steve Smith Jr., the Carolina wide receiver legend, describe him as the steal of the draft. He also labeled the Jets as an obvious place for me. I'm excited about this kid, dude. I really am, man.
That's big.
Imagine if he pans out. We finally got us our 1-2 punch, dude, for the long haul.
For the long
haul.
I mean, it reminds me of Quincy Enunwa. Not the fastest guy in the world, but get the ball in his hands, and D-backs just start falling by the wayside.
Ooh, I like that.
He's
God,
definitely. I don't see him ever being an X, or he's definitely going to be. I don't really see him being the number one. He'll always be a wide receiver too. I can't imagine him being a number one. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. But
yeah, no, I'm 100% with you right there. No, I love the pick. I just love the rawness of the kid. I love the violence, like Joe Douglas mentions when he talks to these kids. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him having some DBs do a little double step, like, oh, a little, ooh, scared.
Having that 3-cone drill like that, such a fast 3-cone drill, yeah.
He'll be wrapping around.
Now he's going to learn from Garrett Wilson, the twitchiness. Oh my goodness.
Oh
yeah,
dude,
that two-step hitch, Rodgers likes to throw.
Oh yeah,
right there.
You know who Garrett receiver? Wilson. When I watch him, you know what it reminds me of? You remember that old kid? You're right around my age range, maybe a few years younger than me. But do you remember the show? It was claymation called Gumby.
Yeah, dude, of course I remember Gumby.
Dude, he's like rubbery like Gumby, dude. He's just like, when I see Garrett Wilson move, I'm just like, man, anybody else that would bend and stretch like that would be on the cart into the locker room, man. Jeez. All right, so.
I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited with him.
I am too.
For sure.
So we're going to move on to our next pick, and this is one of your favorite picks, John. And that was in the 4th round, pick 134. I'm believing it's Braylon Allen.
First of all,
Agent Zero is what they're dubbing him on Twitter.
Oh my God. I mean, he's the best running back in the draft. It reminds me of when we got Breece Hall. You know what I mean? We managed to steal Breece Hall in the top of the 2nd round. How Allen falls to the 4th round is beyond me. And honestly, I'm glad we got him. I'm glad we made a pick with all the trading back and trading, you know what I mean? And then my heart breaks that we lost JFM also, you know what I mean? I know that's a day 3 thing, but you know what I mean? With all the trades that were going on, I was wondering if we were ever going to pick, you know? But the fact that we got him, I mean, I think you're right. You know, Breece Hall might be the odd man out because they're basically the same player, you know? I think Breece Hall has a little bit more pep in his step, a little bit more twitch, faster player. So they're definitely not the same exact running back, you know? Breece is a little more east-west than he is a north-south back, but he's got, a lot more east-west in him than I think Allen does. Allen's definitely much more power back. Not that to say he's not shifty, you know, like to say one thing might mean I'm trying to take away from the other, but I'm definitely not.
Right.
I'm excited to see how the two of them are gonna bounce off each other for sure.
No, yeah, I absolutely think Breece Hall's the odd man out when it comes up to contract time. I just don't think Joe Douglas values running backs like maybe some other teams do. That's why he's constantly, drafting one to see if he.
Every year he's drafted a running back in the mid round.
Yep. See what he can get. See what he can land on. He got Breece. Like I said, we stole him in the 2nd round. He knew what he was getting. And I think he knows what he's getting with Braylon Allen. And I think he sees in a couple of years, the next 2 years, as being the starter. The workhorse, the bell cow back for the Jets, because I think Breece Hall will be moving on when it comes to contract time, because I just don't see how you, and I love Breece Hall to death, but he'll be closer to 30 at that point. He'll be older, and I just don't see how you choose to pay a running back over a star wide receiver and a star cornerback.
A star cornerback. You got the number one, arguably one of the top 5, if not number 1 receivers in the league.
Yeah.
With no quarterback and the best with no quarterback, and the best cornerback in the league. Yep. They're much more valuable than Breece. And as much as it pains me to say, because I don't want to see Breece and I want to see him retire a Jet, that just doesn't happen with running backs anymore, like you said. So
right, absolutely. And remember, 50% of those guys, as far as Wilson and Sauce go, is a 2-time first-team All-Pro. You don't let guys like that just walk out the fucking building for a running back.
You pay them what they want, basically.
Yeah, I don't care who the running back is. I don't care if it's fucking Herschel Walker, Emmitt Smith. I don't give a damn. that's the kid you keep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and let you read this, brother. Since this is your guy, I want you to go ahead and spit this one out for everybody.
This is Stiggers. Oh, this is Allen. All right. Stiggers my guy too. Allen, 6'1", 235 pounds, the youngest player in this year's draft class after graduating from what I can't, for some reason I can't see.
DU.
Well, anyway, from
LAC
DU
High School?
LAC High School in Wisconsin in 3 years, and will be 20 years old for his entire Jets rookie season. That's incredible. And
Ooh,
he's
he is
stacked.
young.
Sorry, you guys see how big this kid is? Precociously.
That means when Brees leaves, he'll probably only be like 22, 23 years old, dude.
That's incredible.
That's
I mean,
incredible.
he's gonna get at least 2 contracts. He led the Badgers in rushing in all 3 of his seasons at UW after initially signing with a program as a safety and linebacker, and he friggin' looks like a linebacker.
He does. He is fucking stacked.
He led the Badgers last season with 984 rushing yards at 5.4 yards a clip. Wow, with 12 touchdowns. I mean, just imagine him behind our new stacked line that's designed for the run. Oh my God, you can't.
Yeah.
Even though he missed time with a lower leg injury, he played in 11 games and started 9. Allen's 2021 and 22 campaigns were his signature seasons as he rushed for 1,268 yards as a freshman at 6.8 yards a carry and 12 rushing TDs, then 1,242 yards at 5.4 a carry with 11 TDs. He's number 1 in Wisconsin history with 3,494 career rushing yards. His strength is one of the assets in his game. As he said, he squatted 610 pounds. I'm like salivating reading this right now. Not too bad, he said with a smile, and hang clean 405 pounds as a high school sophomore.
Oh, man. I mean, this kid is just a beast, dude. A freaking beast. Hold on. I want to bring this right back up. Look, from his rookie year all the way to the time he was drafted, dude, he never had a single fucking season with less than 10 touchdowns.
Not a single season with less than 10
That's
touchdowns.
amazing.
In
And not a
college
single
football.
season under. Hold on. Let's bring it right back up. Let me study this. So last year was his first year that he didn't run for 1,200 plus yards. He only ran for 984 yards. Obviously, with missing the time with the leg injury. Missed time with the leg injury and still had fucking almost 1,000 yards, bro.
Does
Joe Douglas know how to pick running backs, or Joe Douglas know how to pick running backs?
He knows how to pick running backs. The only blip on the radar is Izzy, but you know what? We'll
And
see
even
how
that-
Izzy pans out. We don't really know.
Yeah, we still don't even know about Izzy. You know, I think Izzy is going to get a chance to prove himself this summer or whatever, especially this year. He's going to have a chance to show the brass, hey, I'm your number 2 guy. Because he's not going to if Allen pans out, he's not starting over Braylon Allen, dude.
No.
That's
If
not
anything, he'll be trade bait or a special teamer, but I think Izzy's got starter potential in him for sure.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just what I know about the kid. I liked the pick last year. I thought he was a good Michael Carter replacement, to be honest with you. But I think a lot can be said the fact that Joe Tippmann blocked for him for 2 of those years. You know what I mean? So I don't think I really don't think it's understating it to say that connection that he has with Joe Tippmann is definitely one of the big reasons he's on this team.
Yeah.
Because we stopped his slide. He was sliding. And there were a few other people that I was expecting for us to go. Maybe another wide receiver wanted us to double dip, but I cannot complain about Allen, you know?
No, absolutely not. So if we move on to our next pick, now I'm going to be real, folks. I'm going to go ahead and eat crow here on the show because I said the Jets were not for certain picking a quarterback. And on day 3,
So happy. So
Jordan
happy.
Travis, round 5, pick 171, Florida State, dude. So since I don't know anything, we're going to go ahead and read this. In his 6th college season and 5th at FSU, Travis, 6'1", 200 pounds, had 20 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions with a 63.9% accuracy. Wow. While leading the Seminoles to an 11-0 mark with a number 5 national ranking. In Game 11 against North Alabama, Travis fractured and dislocated his left ankle to end his season and effectively the Noles season as well. That's a damn bummer. After going 13-0 to win the ACC title, they were left out of the college football playoffs. What? I must have not been paying
I don't
attention.
realize that either.
Whoa, 13-0 and they didn't even make the fucking playoffs? That's crazy. But they did receive a bid to the Orange Bowl against the reigning national champion Georgia Bulldogs. They defeated the Seminoles 63-3. Wow. Travis still managed to earn first-team All-ACC honors after accounting for 27 total touchdowns. In addition, in 2022, Travis still managed to earn first-team All-ACC honors after accounting for 27 total touchdowns. In addition, in 2022, Travis completed 64% of his passes, right on, for 3,214 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Beautiful. Earning second-team All-ACC honors and showed notable improvements as a passer after being known primarily as a dual-threat quarterback his first 2 seasons. And good old Tallahassee.
I'm so happy we got him. He's who I wanted. He was who I wanted. I was MIA for a little bit, and I made sure to post that is exactly who I wanted. And I can't be more happy. Basically, the MVP of his team, of his conference, where his entire team just goes down the drain as soon as he's hurt. Basically, what happened to us last year. Yeah. He's a little undersized, you know what I mean? I'm not a big fan of his mechanics, I'm not gonna lie. But even with what he does, he does it well, you know. He's able to stand in the pocket pretty well. And,
when you say that, it just makes you thank your lucky stars who he gets to learn behind for the next 3 years.
Exactly. And honestly, he's got that kind of an arm. He's going to soak up everything Aaron's got to give. Absolutely. So I'm very much excited about the kid. Yeah.
And you saw his post-draft interview, right? I mean, he is just so thrilled to be here, man. Like you could tell, like he's ready to soak it all up, learn every little bit that he can. I think learning behind Aaron Rodgers, I think we will have our future quarterback when Jordan Travis is ready to take snaps. And I guarantee you to all them Bauer boys, homeboy's going to be real happy. He's got a damn good vet blocking his blind side when that time comes. All right, so let's
from
move
your
on
lips to God's ears, man. I'm hoping he's the guy. No more QB carousels, man. No more QB carousels.
I heard that, man. You know, just give me 15, 20 good years of some damn good quarterback play. Shoot. So moving on, our next draft pick, again, 5th round, a couple picks later at 173. Jets take another running back from South Dakota State. I will say, wrong South Dakota State player. Should have been Mason McCormick, but whatever. Isaiah Davis, running back. How do you feel about this pick, dude?
You know, Bryant Boyer gets to pick players too, you know, and there's no doubt in my mind that this is a special teams pick.
Okay.
He doesn't feel a need.
You just took this a whole nother fucking route and you might be changing my mind now, dude. Holy shit.
No, there's no doubt in my mind. Boyer was pounding the table for a player. This is the player he got.
Return man?
So I don't expect him to get touches at anything else, but I can only imagine he'd be a gunner, maybe a punt returner or a kick returner. I don't know. I don't think he's got that speed though.
Okay.
But also the thing is now the NFL is doing the XFL rule. You know what I mean? You got to wait till the ball touches before you can even engage, and you're only 10 yards behind that line. You're at the 25-yard line. You're only 5 yards away from each other. So since I do watch XF spring football, the one thing I gotta say, especially for kick returners, you don't need speed anymore. You need a guy who's going to be able to break a couple tackles. You need speed to some extent, but you need a guy who's going to be able to take a nice cut, nice angle. Running back is a great example of taking the right kind of cut or right kind of angle, and be big enough, strong enough, fast enough to break a couple tackles and then just go to the house.
Yeah.
Because once you're past that initial line of guys, what do you have? A kicker, and it's you don't really have much.
You're running daylight. Rule is going to change the way they draft certain guys, specifically for special teams.
I really think that's going to stick too. Honestly, knowing the XFL as well as I knew it from 2020 to when it came back last year, 23, and the new UFL.
It's not a bad rule.
I think that rule's staying. I think that rule's staying, and I think you're absolutely right. We're going to completely change the way we draft returners. And we're going to see a lot more running backs, or even converted linebackers.
You're going to start seeing on team needs GR for gunner. The Jets are pretty stacked. All they really need is a gunner, and they'll be set for the Super Bowl.
No. I mean, imagine. But man, we don't even need a gunner anymore because you don't really have.
We got a lot of young guys, dude. Like your Jason Brownlees, your Xavier Gibsons. Now you got your Isaiah Davises and stuff, man. Like this is got a lot of good young kids, man.
Exciting.
Before we move on, I just want to read a bit about Mr. Davis. Davis, 6'2", 218 pounds, 22 years old, played 46 games. That's 36 starts over 4 seasons for the Jackrabbits, and rushed for 4,548 yards and 50 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons. Holy shit! 50 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons? He ran for 3,029 yards. No, it is not. 1,451 in 2022 and 1,578 in 2023 and 23 scores. He was twice named first team All MVFC 2022-2023 and was honored as a first team All-American in 2023. I can't put into words, man, Davis said about the moment the Jets called. My hands started shaking, and it was an unbelievable feeling. I'm so excited to be a Jet and be in New York. It's really a dream come true. A hard-nosed runner, Davis seemingly got stronger each season with 12 of his 24 career 100 rushing yard games coming in the FCS playoffs. The Jackrabbits won back-to-back national championships in 2022 and 23, and in their 8 postseason games over the last 2 seasons, he averaged 127.8 yards rushing and scored 12 touchdowns. Holy shit. I'm a versatile and downhill back, Davis said. I feel like I can run well between the tackles and running power and getting downhill. That is what I'm most used to doing. But I personally am going to find a way to impact the game. I'm excited about what I have accomplished and all I have worked for this past year. And now I'm going to bring it all to the Jets. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is our fucking gunner right here, dude. This guy, I bet you he has 5 return touchdowns this year, bro. What's up?
Another guy that just wants to, the way that they're talking about us. I don't think I've ever heard a prospect talk about us the way they're talking about us. Just being excited and happy to be on the Jets.
Absolutely.
I mean, it warms my broken to pieces and actually shattered to pieces heart that there are players who actually want to come here, who are excited to come here. They're not just blowing smoke up our asses, you know what I mean?
Right.
The way that, and you can see it in the interviews that they've been doing, So I'm pretty excited.
That's also the Aaron Rodgers effect, man. When you have a Hall of Fame quarterback in the building, dude, like everybody wants to come here. Like, oh my God, I get to go play with Aaron Rodgers. Like these guys got to be fucking tickled pink, as the old folks always used to say, that they get to come and play. At least for the first 3 years of their career, get to play with a Hall of Fame quarterback, man. I mean, hell, Aaron Rodgers' final season might be fucking Braylon Allen's first season as starter. You know what I mean?
Oh man. Well, hopefully his final season's 4 years away. You know, I'm hoping he pulls a Brady. And
So
we
we're
get
gonna
2 Super Bowls in that time, at least.
Oh, dude. Now you want to talk about from your lips to God's ears. So now we're going to move on to another one of your guys, my brother.
Ooh.
And that's 5th round draft pick, 3 picks later, Mr. Quantez Stiggers.
Quantez Stiggers.
Defensive back, Toronto Argonauts. Not even a college guy, brother, coming from the CFL. How about it?
Well, and I think this is why the UFL is going to have a place for a long time, because this is giving opportunities to players that can't get on to the the new college system.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Some players who want to play but also need money, because his story is a little. He couldn't afford college. You know what I mean? He really couldn't afford to be a college player. But now having the ability, first, we got to say thank you to the Fan-Controlled Football League. I don't know if it still exists. I never followed it. I know they had Johnny Manziel for a little while. They had a couple guys, big names. But, I mean, if it wasn't for them, the Argos would never have looked at him. And one thing I'll say about the CFL, given that you have running receivers before the ball snapped, it's definitely a different dynamic for these defensive backs. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's a step down compared to college. You know what I mean? Sure. Especially because you're playing against pros. I mean, these are professional players. We'll see in a few years if the UFL overtakes the CFL in talent, but right now that is literally the next league worldwide that you can consider, at the very least, maybe, a tier and a half down from the NFL's, talent level.
Okay.
And for him to be able to win Rookie of the Year after coming from an arena, Fan-Controlled Football is an arena league. You know what I mean? They play in arenas. It's 50, it's 100 feet.
Right.
It's not even, so I can't stress enough how this guy just took over the CFL, watching his CFL highlights, the way he's able to track a receiver and stay in their hip pocket. He's, if anything, I'd say he bites a little bit too much. From what I've seen, he's kind of looking in the backfield, which would definitely hurt him in the NFL, but I don't think he's a depth piece right now, but he's definitely got starter potential, and he's got slot starter potential. So I thought it was interesting that MC2 tweeted at him and said this guy's a dog and excited to work with him. But I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him in to eventually, replace MC2 if we can't get a contract done. You know what I mean? Because his size, his shiftiness, his ability to track and stay with the receiver, it's more indicative of a nickelback than it is, an outside DB1 or DB2. So but I'm definitely excited about that pick, yeah. Well, Stiggers, 5'11", 203 pounds, had a roller coaster history playing high school ball at Best Academy in Atlanta. Initially enrolling at Lane College in Tennessee, sitting out football in 21 after the death of his father, entering and excelling in the 7-on-7 Fan-Controlled Football League back in Atlanta in 22, and last season being named the CFL's most outstanding rookie while playing with the Toronto Argonauts. He started 16 games last season, tying for second in the CFL in 2023 with 5 interceptions and making 56 tackles. Nice. It's almost surreal to me, man, Stiggers told reporters after his selection. I came up to the Jets on a top 30 visit. And
No shit, he was the top 30, huh? Nice.
This is why I really think this guy, there's more to this guy than just his story, Wow. Me and coach, cornerbacks coach Tony Auden, built a great relationship, and now I just feel like I'm at home. I might have not gone in the round I wanted to go, but at the end of the day, I love that the Jets selected me. Despite his background and relative inexperience, many scouts see Stiggers as, in the words of NFL.com, draft analyst Lance Zierlein, he might be related, a very real prospect with adequate size and speed and NFL caliber ball skills and instincts. Personally, if he isn't a cornerback or a nickelback, he's definitely a free safety. We're gonna find a place for him on this team.
We have to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'd be very shocked if he doesn't make the 53 by earning it, not because he got drafted, by literally earning it.
Dude, how the hell did that guy slip so far?
CFL. The
That's
fact that
the
he was a CFL player. That's what
only
it is.
reason, huh? Joe Douglas said, I don't give a shit. I'll make. He knew he was going to slip. He's all, but he's going to be mine. He's going to be mine in the real late rounds, too. God, Joe Douglas is so fucking good, dude. Fuck all you haters. All right, so as we gear here toward the end of the show, we got one more draft pick, official draft pick. We're not going to go over the undrafted free agents because right now there's just a fucking slew of them coming in, and I just can't keep up with them. And I didn't want to make that many fucking slides and have a 5-hour show because our own JD over there is on East Coast time, so it's actually almost over 9. It's past 9 o'clock over there. It's 6:04 here.
Yep.
So as we move on to the final pick, aka Mr. Irrelevant, pick 257 in the 7th round, Alabama defensive back Jalen Key. I don't know a whole lot about Jalen, but it's like I said before we hit record button, dude. Alabama defensive backs scare me.
And with this one, I have to say this is another Bryant Boyer pick. I can't see. We don't need any more DBs. I don't see him being really one we can convert. He doesn't necessarily have the size that'd be indicative of a safety. Good player. Surprised he fell to the 7th. Didn't think he would go. It's definitely a 5th round pick. You know what I mean? He's a project defensive back, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's another Bryant Boyer pick. You know, because why not? Why not? See what we can do. We need more bodies on special teams. If we do get Corey Davis, I imagine
Boyer or Brent Boyer, our special teams guy. If you can't trust him, he's pretty fucking good at what he does.
survive 3 coaches, survive 3 regimes.
Yes, sir.
For a reason, you know,
yes,
which is also why I couldn't believe McCole Hardman thought about trying to throw that guy under the bus.
We all know that guy's an
won't
idiot.
go there. Yeah, won't go there. But I definitely think this is a Brian Boyer pick. Personally, if he makes the 53, I see Brownlee or Gibson being the odd man out because really, unless either one of them takes a massive step, and I've been watching Gibson's, the videos he's been posting, and I'm not all that impressed. The dude is a phenomenal athlete, far better than me. So I'm not trying to sit here and stand on a pedestal on a soapbox and bash Gibson. I love the kid. I love what he did and how much work he's put in to get to where he is. Not just because of Hard Knocks, but because he legitimately earned it.
Right.
But Brownlee didn't seem to get the playing time we expected last season, and that's telling. So if not Gibson, because Gibson might still be one of our returner, I can imagine this guy replacing Brownlee. Because if we also do get Corey Davis, that wide receiver room is a little too full. If we hit on a couple of these undrafted free agents that we seem to be pulling a billion of them, then I could only imagine somebody's got to go, and it wouldn't surprise me that it's Brownlee.
Yeah, I think you might be right on that. I think he would be the odd man out. So as we finish up the show here, we're gonna read this little write up here on Mr. Key. Key, 6 foot even, 208 pounds, 24 years old. Wow, he's an older cat. And a native of Quincy, Florida, spent 5 seasons at University of Alabama, at UAB before transferring to Alabama in 2023. He came into UAB as a cornerback, but during his redshirt season in 2018, converted to safety. He put together a breakout season in 2022 for Blazers with 60 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, and 3 interceptions, and parlayed that into a starting role with the Crimson Tide. My overall thinking when going to the portal was, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it against the best talent in the country so I can get better for the next level, Key said. So when I get to that point I am now, it's a seamless transition. As a sixth-year senior, Key started all 12 games for Nick Saban's squad, recording 60 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss, 2 pass defenses, and helped guide Alabama to a SEC championship and berth in the college football playoff. He joined an established defensive back room highlighted by two-time All-Pro cornerback Sauce Gardner, cornerback DJ Reed, nickel Michael Carter II, and safeties Chuck Clark and Tony Adams.
And Ashton Davis. Let's not forget Ashton Davis.
Yeah, how are they going to leave out Ashton Davis and not write up like that?
Ashton's gonna make a name for himself this year, I think.
I'm still so proud of Ashton Davis. I remember when we made that pick, I'm like, this is an underrated pick. I feel really good about it. And then they just ripped him from his rookie season on. I'm like, oh yeah, that's typical Jet fans. We never let a guy be a rookie. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
But I just had a feeling that every year I just slowly saw him getting better, man. And then after last year, I'm just like, oh, we got to bring him back, man. We got to bring him back. And so I was so proud that fucking pick panned out because, man, right from the get-go, I was like, that's one of my guys right there. So I'm a big Ashton Davis guy, dude. Big Ashton Davis guy.
I mean, again, I just don't – I can't see him becoming a safety in the next level. So, again, I just think I definitely think he's a special teamer.
And that's fine. Guys cut their teeth the whole career being special teams guys.
You got special teamers making the Hall of Fame, you know?
Yeah, as long as you play in the league, brother, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you contributing, man, you're getting paid. That's all that matters.
I mean, I can think of Andre Roberts and in Jets' recent history, Andre Roberts and Justin Hardy,
exactly.
Career special teamers, you know, making millions of dollars just to play less than 0.25% of last year, almost every play, but, you know.
Yep.
Only a quarter of plays.
So that's going to do it for this week's show, man. I appreciate you joining me tonight, JD.
Thanks for having me, Randy, as always.
Was glad that we were able to recap this draft. Let me get you, before we leave, overall grade on Joe Douglas's 2024 draft class. Just, you know, based on what we've read here today, what we've talked about, you know, the highlight films and everything that you've seen over the weekend. You know, I know we can't fully grade these guys because, you know, they haven't even fucking played a snap yet. But just based on everything you've seen, what do you give Joe Douglas?
I give him a solid A-.
Okay.
Solid A-. I love the mentality. You know what I mean? Guys weren't there, and you know he kind of did have a feel for how people were falling. Because again, I'm so surprised we got Allen in the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
So I give him a solid A-. I didn't really understand that one of those trades, the trade back. I forget who we traded back with. We traded 3 times in the 4th, but there were a couple trades that were a little questionable for me too, compensation wise, and reason being, I felt like there were guys there that could be had. Mm-hmm. But you know, I'm sure it had a lot to do with the board and how their board stacked up. So I definitely go solid A-.
Right. No, that's one of the things I really respect about Joe Douglas. Unless something unexpectedly falls, you know, like a Breece Hall or something in the second round or whatever, I think he's just one of those guys that just stays true to his board. He's like, these are my guys. This is what I know I can bring onto this team and make them better and what we can win with. And he's not afraid to stick to his fucking plan, man. That's what I love about him, dude. So for me, I'm gonna give it an A. I'm gonna agree with you toward, you know, like on that day 3, you know, making them trade. I really wanted to. There's some guys in that 4th round I thought we could really picked up and made some noise with, you know, like a Mason McCormick, you know, a mm-hmm. guy that can be your interior kind of guy in a couple of years, you know, when
Malik Washington could have double dipped that receiver, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. Or a guy like Taj Washington from USC.
Yeah.
So, but love the fact that we went offensive line in the first round, because everybody knew this whole time where I was leaning. Started thinking we were starting, you know, in my mind, I was thinking we may go wide receiver. And the closer it got, I was thinking, fuck, Bowers is still there. You know, we might go Bowers. But then Joe Douglas, true to himself, went offensive line, man, because he knows we're stacked right now. But when Aaron Rodgers leaves, we're gonna need fucking guys. It can't just be you have Jordan Travis learn behind Aaron Rodgers. Then when it's time for him to start, stick him in. He doesn't have a fucking offensive line to block for him. Now you're Zach Wilson his ass.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Sam
Sometimes
Darnold.
you think of Sam Darnold. Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. Like it's just you. Like if when you bring in a young quarterback, you want to make sure he's got the fucking protection. I said it on the draft reaction show that we did. Like I typically hate bringing in a quarterback before you have the offensive line built because you're just setting the motherfucker up for failure right from the get. So build the offensive line and then interject your quarterback. From there, you
Let's
can
go win a ship, man. Let's go win a ship. Let's protect Aaron. Let's go win a ship. Yeah, that's fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's going to do it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for checking us out here on the One Jets Pod here on the One Jets Pod Draft Recap Show. Again, I'm joined by my co-host, our very own JD, also known as John. But again, thanks for checking us out here on the One Jets Pod YouTube channel. If you're watching, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're checking us out or listening to us on the audio side of things, thanks for checking us out all the way to the end. Make sure to follow us and give us a 5-star. Until next time, on behalf of myself and JD, we'll see you down the road. Oh, Jets.
Welcome to Jet Life Stadium.
Hit